Hello, Internet, I'm me, and I'm not wearing a shirt, and this is Season 3 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Episode 9. Yes, I got the episode number right this time. I'll make sure that I actually put Season 3 on the title as well. You kids. Anyway, Episode 9. Yeah, this is a really sweet episode. I really liked I don't want to call it cuteness, more of sweetness of this episode. If you're wondering why I have no shirt, I'm not putting one on. Screw off. Now, what is the plot of this episode? Well, you could take that one line from Toy Story that the little aliens say when they go from Pizza Planet. You've saved our lives. We are eternally grateful. That's the plot of this episode. Spike is actually off doing, well, whatever he wants because Twilight Sparkle is reading 12 books in a row, which is a feat in its of itself. So she does not need Spike around to help her out. So Spike goes off to go do things that he normally wouldn't do, which is anything he wants, and ends up letting a hot air balloon, which apparently belongs to no one and is just rented out, float off into the Everfree Forest as he chases it down Sly Cooper style. Yes, this review will be reference heavy. I have more. And of course, he catches it, but is inside the Everfree Forest and is attacked by timber wolves. Timber wolves. Okay, they're not that threatening. They're not. And honestly, while I was watching this episode, I was like, Spike, buddy, wood, dragon, fire, fire wings. Freaking Spike, all it has to do is breathe on them wrong, and the timber wolves are done. They're wolves made of wood. You're a dragon. Man up, or dragon up. A small spark would just set these bastards on fire. Hell, Smokey the Bear knows how to take these bastards out. So the threat level of them is highly low. Especially since Applejack just comes in and throws a rock at them anyway and breaks them apart like bowling pins. It's quite sad. And later on, they get taken out even quicker. So yeah, their threat level is literally like 1 to 0 on a scale of 10 because they can get taken out so damn easily. But anyway, Applejack of course saves Spike's life because he doesn't think to throw fire at the wooden wolves. And he goes, "You saved my life, Applejack. Now I have to, save yours or serve you for eternity." And hilarity ensues, pretty much. This episode was actually pretty good. It was a lot of actual good comedy in here. Pinkie Pie wanting to wear a mustache. Yeah. And if you've watched any other cartoon show, you've probably figured out the plot of this episode or how it's going to play out. Mostly like, oh, he owes his life to Applejack. She doesn't want his help. Oh, now he's really messing up around the place. And then, of course, they come up with a plan so that Spike can repay the debt so he doesn't have to do this anymore. But oh no, the plan doesn't work. And then a real threat comes and he really actually does save their life. And, the cycle is broken and blah, blah, blah. They go home. And it was like really predictable. Like, I know somebody put on a comment that it's like all the episodes are predictable. I'm like, no. First season was not predictable. I did not predict any of the episodes in season one. I could not like look at the plot and go, "Oh, I see where this is going." This, I can see where this is going a mile away. Honestly, though, that's not a bad thing. I could say they're predictable all the way through, and though it does mark it down for the greatness level, it is not a bad thing. This episode actually has a lot of hilarity, sweetness, and cuteness to it. I have to say it. And there's even a little whack in there where Rainbow Dash. Oh, the jokes in this episode. Rainbow Dash is like, "Oh, help me finish my unfinished novel. It's about a Pegasus who's the best there is and becomes captain of the Wonderbolts." And Rarity's like, "Where did you come up with that riveting plot of deep emotion?" She's pretty much going, "You fanfic writer. You don't know what you're doing. You're just writing one of those Mary Sue characters, aren't you?" And I thought that was pretty clever. It was a pretty clever nod to Mary Sue writers and shit like that, where it's like, oh yeah, yeah, they can't get hurt, and they're the best that they are, and they become like Super Omega General Captain. Those who've read a Bleach fanfic, you know what the hell I mean. But of course, Applejack comes up with a plan with the rest of the main six. Well, minus Twilight. No, 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 wait. Twilight's there too. I'm sorry. The entire main six, which for the first time, the entire main six are actually here. And Fluttershy actually, for the best line of the episode, I actually have a tie between Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. Mostly because Pinkie Pie goes, "Oh, and Applejack." And then Applejack's like, "Yeah?" And then she just has a mustache on. And she goes, "No." And then the mustache just drops off. I thought that was brilliant. And of course, Fluttershy, when Fluttershy brings up the most logical thing in the entire episode, where she goes, "You know, Spike is saying that he has to be your servant. I would have just told him I have nothing to do." And then Applejack's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, dang, this is a really good, like, the plot is a dime a dozen plot, but of course this is what makes My Little Pony, My Little Pony. The characters are what makes this episode a lot better. They drive this damn episode because it certainly is not the threat of the Timberwolves because they can get taken out quite quickly in a myriad of ways. It's not the plot because it's nothing new, but these characters and how they interact and how they the animation. Oh, the animation, like how the Timberwolves are animated as a CG. I want to say Flash mix, more CG, more Flash than CG. Like CG to give it that depth in 3D, but or Flash to give it that flat animation, give it a little smoother of a run. I'm not sure. Again, not a big animation doer, but yeah, this is that. Oh, the Timberwolves looked freaking sweet. Don't get me wrong, but they were just threat level of zero because they get knocked apart easily. And speaking of which, Applejack and Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy all and Twilight Sparkle all come together. Oh, and Rarity come together to again more hilarity in the plan to get Spike to actually pay back Applejack. And the funniest thing is the plan goes so well, kinda that but like there's one thing missing. Like it has that whole Sherlock. They turned Spike into Sherlock Holmes for a second. He's like, the roar was convincing, the claws were good, the face detail on the puppet was pretty convincing, but there's one thing you missed. I was like, damn, Spike, that's a high level of intelligence. Why don't you set fire to a Timberwolf thing? That would be a lot easier. That's the one thing that keeps bugging me about this episode because at the end of the episode, the Timberwolves show back up. They're chasing everyone. Applejack gets her hoof stuck, and Spike has to help her. And what does he do? He picks up a rock. He could spark a fire and set them all ablaze, turning into ash because Timberwolves are pretty much pull an Iron Giant, if you've watched that movie, and pull themselves right back together again after you knock them apart like bowling pins, which is a pretty cool power. Really cool. But here's my thing. I'm like, set them on fire. There's no twigs left. They can't rebuild themselves. Duh. But no, they opt out for I guess what I'm going to call the Star Wars solution. Throw something very tiny into a hole and things go kablooey. Because that's exactly what happens. Spike takes a pebble, or a decent sized rock, throws it into the Timberwolf's mouth. It goes down, and the best villain death I have ever seen happens with this giant ass Timberwolf. He's like, oh god, oh, okay, I'm joking. I'm joking. Like pretty much like that. I was like, that was worth it. That was worth it because I'm like, yeah, set it ablaze, it'll kill it. But no, no. That Timberwolf death far outweighed what I thought. Like logically, you would set it on fire, but that was just the best death you could give a character, any character. Just that whole got something stuck. Hold on, guys. Stop the attack. Stop the attack. I got something stuck. Oh, okay, okay. It's like, yes, that was a beautiful scene. That was just beautiful, and that's what made me love this episode because it's like logic says this is a bad episode. They should be doing this, and this, and they should change the plot and blah blah blah. But then the heart of the episode comes out and just goes, dude, shut up, enjoy. And that's what I gotta say. Shut up and enjoy this episode. I actually really recommend this episode because of how fun and just sweet and heartfelt. There we go. Heartfelt it is. I happily give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's not quite a 9 because, well, to give a 9 and a 10, you actually have to have the logic and plot variety in there. But only because it doesn't have that plot variety and a little bit more logic into it, that it doesn't ascend to a 9 and a 10. That's my reasoning there. But again, if you just don't really care, this is a solid 9. That's why I put it in at 8.5. But until next time, y'all, and next time I actually put on a damn shirt, peace.